Good morning, students. Today we will start regarding light. In the last class, we have studied differences between real and virtual images. Real images, we said that these images can be caught on the screen. Virtual images cannot be caught on the screen. These are the differences we have studied in the real and virtual images in the last class. Not only this, we said that mostly the real images are seen in the concave mirror. Virtual images are seen in the convex mirror. Now, we said that real images always will get in the inverted images. Whereas virtual images we will get is erected images. Real images are always inverted images. Virtual images are erected images. These are the differences we have studied regarding the real and virtual images. Today we will study an activity how to get a parallel beam of a light rays. How to get a parallel beam of light rays. Parallel beam of light rays. For this, in order to do this activity, we require thermocols. Two thermocols, you place them side by side. On these thermocols, you fix pins. On the top of these thermocols, you fix two pins. Now, place these in such a way that from a candle, number of light rays will be falling onto these pins. Now, if I place the candle very near to the thermocol box, you will see that the shadow of these two pins will be seen as if they are moving away. Now the same candle, if I place at a certain distance and see when the light rays fall on these pins, we will see that the shadow of these pins will be parallel to each other. They will be moving closer to each other. Now, from this activity, we can say that my object is a candle. If I place it very near to the thermocols, we are saying that the shadow of the pins are diverging, moving away. When I place the same candle away at a certain longer distance, I am seeing a parallel beam of shadows of these two pins. Hence, what can we say that whenever an object is at a faraway distance, we will get a parallel beam of light rays. Hence, in the activity, I have told you like taking a magnifying glass, placing a paper under the magnifying glass. What we are saying? A number of light rays are falling on the glass. Then what happened? Your paper, you will be seeing it will start burning from a certain point. Hence, our sun is at a faraway distance. From the sun, number of light rays are coming. These light rays are being parallel to each other. When they are falling on the magnifying glass, they are converged. Means they are meeting at a point. this converging point making the paper after reflecting on the magnifying glass, they are reflected and you are observing that your paper starts burning. This is the activity to show that whenever a parallel beam of light rays are there, we should keep the object at far away distance. That means the object should be at infinite distance, like our example, like a sun. Next, after this, we will study sign convention. So in this chapter, you must solve certain problems based on the sign convention. Before entering into the problems, there are certain rules you need to follow. First sign convention states that all the distances must be measured from the pole. Okay, your first point states that all the distances must be measured from the pole. In any method, you must follow these rules in order to solve the problems. All the distances must be measured from the pole. Second is in the direction of the incident ray, in the direction of the incident ray, the distances are to be taken as positive. All the distances in the direction of the incident ray, they must be taken as positive. In the same point, in the opposite direction of the incident ray, in the direction of the opposite direction of the incident ray, the distances must be taken as negative. In the direction of the incident ray, the distances must be taken as positive. In the opposite direction of the incident ray, we must take the distances as negative. Next here, third point is always the height, if you are measuring upwards, height of either object, HO indicates height of the object, HI indicates height of the image. Always height of the object and height of the image. If the height of the object and height of the image, if it is showing upwards, those are to be taken as positive. Okay, heights must be taken as positive. If the same heights, if it is showing like this, if your image or the object is in the reverse direction, height of the object and height of the image must be taken as negative. If the height of the object or image it is in the upward direction, we must take the value as positive. If it is downwards, we must make it as negative. These are certain rules we need to follow in order to solve the light diagrams as well as the ray diagram problems. All the distances must be measured from the pole. What is pole? The midpoint of any mirror is called as a pole. We must always measure the distances from the pole. In the direction of the incident ray, the distances must be taken as positive. Opposite direction must be taken as negative. If it is upwards, you must take height of the image and object as positive. Height of the object and image should be taken as negative. Now based on this, I will show you something. How to apply these rules? Let us see an example. Which mirror it is? It is a concave mirror. Thus this mirror has a midpoint. It is called as a pole. Now I have told you all this. This is the principal axis. Here in light, always the object must be placed on the principal axis. Object, I am denoting it as OJ. Okay. Now here, let us assume this my object OJ as any candle. Now what happens? The light rays will fall onto the mirror. Now in a concave mirror, is the inner surface reflecting surface or not? It's a reflecting surface. Now after striking the reflecting surface, what happens? These light rays will get reflected. Now we said that the point is called as a focus. Now here, pole to the object, what do we call? The distance between pole to the object, P to O distance, is called object distance U. If I get the image somewhere here, let us assume this is my image. Now what I said, distance between pole to the image. Pole to the image, we always call it as image distance V. Now here, pole to focus, P to F. What do we call this as? Focal length F. I have told you all these things in the last class. Distance between pole to the object is object distance. Distance between pole to the image is image distance V. Pole to the focus is called focal length. Now here we will apply now our rules which I have told you. Incident ray, from the object the rays are coming and falling onto the mirror. In this direction is my incident ray moving or not? In this direction all the distances must be taken as positive. Look at here. Pole to the object. Am I measuring it in the opposite direction? Opposite direction to that of incident ray. What I said, in the direction of the incident ray, all the distances must be taken as positive. But I am measuring from pole to the object in the reverse direction or opposite direction. Hence, my object distance must be taken as minus. Now when you see the distance between pole to the image, light rays are moving in this direction and we are measuring in the opposite direction. Hence, can I mark my image distance also as minus V? Yes. Now distance between pole to focus, light rays are moving like this but we are measuring in this direction. Hence, F should also be negative. Now here, your first point is from the all the distances. What I said, all the distances from the pole. Did I measure my object distance from pole to the object? Next, pole to the image, pole to the focus. These are the rules we are applying in the case of your ray diagrams. Now, look at here, height of the object, height of the image. Your object has a certain height. This much height is there for your object. What I said, if we are measuring it in upwards, we must take the value as positive. Okay? Now what happened to my height of the image? It is showing downwards. Hence, I can take my height of the image as negative. First rule is distances must be measured from the pole. In the direction of the incident ray, all the distances must be taken as positive. In the opposite direction must be taken as negative. Height of the object or image, when it is upwards, we must take it as positive. When it is downwards, we must take it as negative. Okay? Like this, we need to apply the rules in order to solve the ray diagrams as well as the problems. Now after this, there are certain rules to draw the ray diagrams. Rules for drawing ray diagrams. Now what are these rules we will see. First rule is, these rules are valid both for concave and a convex mirror. First rule is, this is a concave mirror. This is my pole. This is the principal axis. Now what I am doing? An object is placed on the principal axis. From the object, the light rays are falling onto the mirror. This is incident ray. Is it parallel to your principal axis? Yes. Whenever a light ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray must always pass through focus. Whenever a light ray, your first rule says, whenever a light ray, it is parallel to your principal axis, is passing parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray must always pass through the focus. Okay? You must remember all these rules in order to draw the ray diagrams. Now look at the second rule. I am incidenting my light ray passing through the focus. Is my light ray passing through the focus? After striking the mirror, the reflected ray should be parallel. The first case, if it is parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray should pass through the focus. Second case, if it is passing through focus, the reflected ray must be parallel to the principal axis. Still, two more rules are there. We will discuss it in the next class. Okay? You note down your homework. Write down the rules for sign convention, that must be followed by any method. Okay, these are the sign convention rules you must write and try to solve certain problems there. In the next class, we will solve those. Okay, children. Thank you.